Hello, happy Tuesday. I am here after like a big day of some wonderful self-care yesterday because I had Sabrina in town all week last week, which was so lovely. We had the launch of our book last Tuesday. We had a wonderful book party, which I'm sure we told you about in our last Facebook Live, which was such a blast. Still buzzing, still feeling so grateful for everybody who showed up. And then on Saturday, my cousin showed up and we went to go pick up her new golden retriever puppy, which was just the sweetest little baby. I couldn't even believe it. So yesterday, I am a bit of an introvert. As intuitives, I find a lot of times and sensitives that we just like pick up on a lot. And so for me, one of the ways that I really take care of myself is that I need alone time. So yesterday, I just totally unplugged from everything, anything, and just really allowed myself some time to decompress and get back in touch and get grounded. And it was fantastic. I am feeling way better and back out in the world. And here I am, recharged. Hi, everybody. But today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about really building a life around your heart and how your heart is really an incredibly intelligent organ. And one of the things that came up, and I mean, Sabrina and I talk about this book in our book, You Are Amazing, and all sorts of different things. But I was reading this book again, which is a fantastic book called Women Who Run with Wolves. It's a fantastic book. There was this whole fairy tale about this woman who, I mean, I feel like whose husband, or this man sort of who is a seal. I don't know, this whole thing. But anyway, basically the long story short, the abbreviated version was that, or what I really took away from this fairy tale was that a lot of times what happens is that we abandon these really important parts of ourselves in order to take care of other people. And whether that's our family members, our jobs, things that we believe in society, but we kind of can always come up with this sort of endless to-do list. And the idea is that once I finish this to-do list, once I am done with this project, take care of this person, get this promotion, go do this one thing, then I'll have the room to really do what I need to do to honor myself and my spirit. And what happens is we get so choked off from ourselves. The thing is even in what Sabrina and I were talking about our last video, it's like you can live from up here, but really getting back into that heart space. And when we really abandon ourselves and our hearts and really abandon what it is that really brings us into fullness, what we suffer. And what happens when we suffer is that it's almost like we just get so incredibly disconnected from ourselves, from our intuition, from our joy, from life, from each other, from our relationships. And the thing that we have to remember, first of all, is the to-do list never ends. Like, there's never going to be a time in your life where everything is sort of tied up neatly enough to now finally take care of yourself. It's really a lie. And I see it so often with my clients. I see it with myself. I see it all the time. It's sort of like that's our intellect getting in the way of trying to create control and manage these different structures so that we can really give ourselves permission. But when we give ourselves permission and, build a lot of times the intellect is what comes in and says, well, if you're going to build a life around something that you love, then you're going to have to get rid of every single structure. Then you need to get rid of your job and your life, and that's irresponsible. And, what about the people and around you? What about your family members? What about, your partner? But the thing is first of all, is that we don't need, that's not real. Like, that's not what anybody's asking you to do, but it's more of a reorientation of really being able to start to connect and build a life around the things that you love. And, in order to start that practice, and that's where we get our intuition, that's where we get our creativity, that's where we get our abundance, that's where all of these magical, wonderful things sort of happen. But, in that, it's sort of like we need to start by giving ourselves permission to be responsible for our own lives and our own happiness, and really give ourselves permission to step outside the box and let our intellects kind of start to allow them to not have to necessarily run the show. A lot of times we have to remember there's a really big difference between being uncomfortable and being in danger. And in order to start connecting and building a life that really honors you and honors your spirit, the first thing that you really need to do is start by taking care of yourself. And that can be a million different things. I mean, it could even just be as small as going for, a walk or doing a meditation or whatever it is, whatever it is that feeds your spirit. But once we start to really build our life around the things that we love, the things that really nurture and support us, everything starts to open up, and we fill our well. And when we fill our well, we are more available not only to life, but to our intuition, to our goodness, so the goodness and magic that happens. And so one of my favorite tools, and Sabrina and I have said this a million times, especially if you're feeling like you need to make a shift or a change or something's coming up and you're feeling that resistance, that feeling of, I have to be responsible. That's usually a big thing that comes in. No one's asking me to be irresponsible, but one of my favorite tools is my head says, and then fill in the blank. My head says that it's too much. My head says that it's scary. My head says that it's irresponsible. My head says that I need to do the to-do list first, that one day I'll finally be available to take care of the things that I really want to take care of. And then take a minute, put your hand on your heart, take a few deep breaths, and say, my heart says it's going to be okay. My heart says it's time for a change. My heart says to take the leap. And when you can tell that it's guidance and when it's your heart actually speaking is you can feel the vibration. We pick up on energy. We pick up on the vibration. We pick up on how things feel. And when we're in that place of really connecting to our intuition and our guidance, it's grounding and it feels solid. So, and also connected to our hearts and really nurturing that connection is so important because it allows for everything in our life to open up. And, it was interesting because I was listening to a wonderful podcast with Krista Tippett, one of my favorites. I love her. If you've never heard of her, she's on NPR. She interviews all sorts of wonderful authors and spiritual teachers and poets from all over the world. And she always has the most interesting conversations. So I feel like if you're into this stuff, go check out Krista Tippett. But there was one, Alan. Oh, I'm always terrible with names. Crap, I forgot his last name. But I'll post a link in the comments. But he was really talking about relationships. He wrote this article on the New York Times, which was the #1 read article last year. It was called "Why You Will Marry the Wrong Person," and basically, he was talking about how when we are in relationships, we really can expect these people to be perfect and sort of fill us up and change us. And, and how we need to sort of allow for people to be human beings. And the funny thing is when I was thinking about that and about how that really connects back to the heart space is that, it's our heads that want people to be perfect. It's our heads that really, it's our intellect, our egos that really hold people to these really incredible standards that really shut us off from one another. But it's our hearts that connect. It's our hearts that connect us to each other. It's our hearts when, if you've ever been in a fight with somebody or something's going wrong or whatever it is, let's say you're in a fight and you get into that place of really wanting to be right. I am right. I can think of a million times when I've argued with my sister and then I'm like, I am right. I am the right one. And then something shifts and there's a place where she gets upset or I can see my effect on her. Maybe she cries, whatever it is. But that place of vulnerability and how it shifts you right back into that heart space and how it really allows us to connect. And that place of wanting to be right or to be perfect or any of it sort of falls away and really invites us to connect with each other. And right now, especially in the world and in life, this is such an important time for us to start to give each other more room and really starting to live a heart-centered life. Especially in America with all the political divides, everything. We are at a point right now where we have gotten so separate. We've gotten so disconnected from really seeing each other as people, from seeing each other as humans, from connecting to that empathic beautiful, compassionate place that really allows for healing. We get so stuck in this right or wrong. We get so stuck in all of it, and how right now it's our responsibility and our duty to really connect to our own heart spaces first and foremost, so that we know and really can help to heal. More, and also even more so, it's like, yeah, just even like connecting to that gorgeous heart space. And the thing is when we decide to live a life that is connected to our hearts, it's connected to what is that really feeds us, a lot of times we have to step outside the box of what is the norm. And that takes a lot of courage. And that is something, and especially when we don't really talk about it and talk about how that makes us feel. So of really, and in that place of finding not only like a support system, but of building our lives around the things that feed us. And some people, that means that they live, it's like, I'm an intuitive counselor. Like, I travel the world doing workshops. But some people, it's just doing, their lovely 9 to 5 and then doing Reiki or whatever it is that really feeds them. So I really want to encourage you this week to really pay attention to the things that speak to your heart, and to really pay attention how your life and how the things around you affect you, and how you can really start to strengthen that connection, and really give yourself permission to walk away or to change the channel or to really excuse yourself from things that don't feel like they are supportive to you. And really give yourself permission to be courageous and start to build your life around the things that feed you and support you, instead of the things that you feel like you should do. Take away the word should. We have so much should in our culture. You should do this. You should do that. You should be in this 9 to 5. You should do whatever it is. But should is a quick way that we disconnect from our own intuition, disconnect from ourselves, because we're not listening to us. We're not listening to our own wisdom that's within us. We are designed as an intuitive creatures. We pick up on things all the time, and all of our wisdom, everything that we need, is inside of us. We just need to learn to listen and tune in. And so often we get so cut off from that by living up here and not here. And so just start paying attention. How do things make me feel? What do I need? And give yourself just a little bit. Just give yourself, feed your spirit doesn't need a lot. Just give it a little bit. Your heart doesn't need a lot. And see how the vibration changes. See how it allows for more of yourself to come and shine through. And how it really allows that your beautiful, incredible, gifted self to really help heal, to help change things, and to really bring you that gorgeous, happy life that you deserve, connected and trusting and in the flow. So thank you so much for watching my video. I am so incredibly grateful. And thank you for everyone who's bought our book. You are amazing. You are amazing. I'm so incredibly grateful. I feel like, as I've said before, we have an online course that's for free on our website. So just check it out. It's under the You Are Amazing tab. Just type in bloop, 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 your receipt number, and you will get our free online course. And if you like our book, please review it on Amazon. We would be so incredibly grateful. Share it with your friends if that feels right to you. And thank you. I'm just sending you all my love, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.